passionate about your pet. We get started every week the same way, where we kind of go over what's going on. Hello, Chocolate. Welcome, everybody. You can use this as an opportunity to fave each other as well here. And that is fine with me. Okay. You have to remember this is a featured show. And so, because it is featured, that any trolling of myself or my featured guest will result in immediate removal. Also, please keep your comments polite, because this is about someone else instead of yourself during this time period. So I want to encourage you, if you love to troll, you can come and troll a different time and not during featured programs. All right, thank you for the gifts, everybody. I am very excited tonight. We're going to have a little dog trivia, because tonight is Night of the Dog, not Night of the Reindeer. Some of you may want to be on a Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, but we don't have anybody on the platform who owns a reindeer that I know. Okay, so we've settled with the Night of the Dog. And we have a special dog pet owner who's going to be our special guest tonight. And her name is Cat's Rawr. Okay. I know some of you right now are thinking, how is her name Cat's Rawr and she's got the dog? Well, I guess we're going to find all out about that later tonight. So you're going to want to stick around for her and hit her with a favorite as well. Now, we will get started with some dog trivia. You know, who's saying bow wow wow yippee yo yippee yay? And if you know, good for you. That's not the kind of trivia, though, that we're going to be doing, but it is the kind that's a lot of fun. But we're going to start off with this question. How many breeds of dog are there worldwide? Is it 200, 400, 1,600, or 800? How many breeds of dog are there worldwide? I mean, I joined at the perfect time. Yes, you did, Dog the Bounty Hunter. Yeah. Hello, Armand. Do you think it's 200? I see a lot of 800. It is not 800. Is it 200? No. That leaves either 400 or 1,600. 400 is correct. Savage in there. All right. According to the World Canine Organization, there are approximately 400 recognized breeds of dog worldwide. There is some contention, however, as to the exact number of dog breeds, as various kennel clubs recognize different breeds. Hi, Mr. Moon. Thank you. Okay, in addition, all pure breds are in reality derived from mixed dog breed populations. So that's why they get a little spicy about how many there are. All right, how many of you know this? Okay. What dog is known for its bluish black tongue? Is it an Afghan hound? Is it a Chow Chow? Is it the American Bulldog or the Lhasa Apso? Okay, it is not Fairy Godmother. I'm sorry, MC. That was not a choice. Okay, I see the Chow Chow. I see Lhasa. No, Fairy is not a choice. She is a featured show host here. Yes, she is on Wednesdays at 10 p.m. But she is not a choice for the bluish black tongue tonight, folks. Okay. I'm going to go with the Chow Chow, and you guys are not incorrect. It is one of the oldest breeds of dogs. Chow Chows are known for their bluish black tongues and their gums. They're not born like this, though. At birth, the Chow Chow's tongue and gums will be pink. And at 8 weeks, it turns around that they have a bluish black color. So originally from China, the Chow Chow's name, Songshi Quan, literally translated means puffy lion dog. Yeah. Puffy lion dog. Who wants a puffy lion dog? I do. All right. What dog was bred from the Old English Bulldog? Thank you, Fairy. And the now extinct Bullenbeißer. Now extinct Bullenbeißer. Is it the Chinese Sharpei, the Doug, the Bordeaux, the Bull Mastiff, or the Boxer? What do you think? You guys are like, are these even dogs, Kitty? Number 1 for the win. Oof. The Mastiff for the win. Oof. It's either the Boxer or the Duc de Bordeaux. Which one? We want to go with the Duc de Bordeaux, Louis? It is not. And welcome to the winner's circle, Chris and Queen Tigress. It is the Boxer. The Boxer was bred from the Old English Bulldog and the now extinct Bull and Bison, which became extinct from crossbreeding rather than by decadence of the breed. I know, I know. And this is why you got to be careful. Okay, okay. A dog named King Tut helped what United States president get elected? A dog named King Tut. Was it Calvin Coolidge? Was it Franklin Delano Roosevelt? Was it Herbert Hoover? Or was it Harry Truman? Which one of these amazing presidents got the help of a dog named King Tut Tut? All right, Hoover. Oh, wow. You guys are too good. With a stellar record for his service as a wartime food administrator, Herbert Hoover. Ooh, thank you, Box Boy in the building. Thank you. Was wartime Herbert Hoover was a logical pick for his presidential candidate in 1928. However, his political handlers knew that in order for him to be electable, because he was such a serious and very private man, they needed to show him to be relatable and lovable to the general public. So they got him a German Shepherd named King Tut, and they photographed him with this German Shepherd with his paws on Herbert Hoover. And then it was mailed out. Yes, mailed, not emailed, snail mailed out all over the United States as part of the ad campaign. Yeah, that is wild, right? What is the smartest dog breed? What is the smartest dog breed? Is it the Afghan Hound? Is it the Cocker Spaniel? Is it the Border Collier or the Border Collie, or is the Rottweiler? Rottweiler. Yeah, you know what I mean? It is not your mother, Chris. Wow. Okay. Uh what in the world? Border Collie for the win. Yes, it is. Is that what he said? I was like, my Marima is pretty. Oh wait, that's not what he wrote. Good God. Someone's getting cold for Christmas. You've been a bad kid. All right. Border Collies are considered by many experts to be one of the most intelligent and trainable dog breeds that exist. Though they are wonderful companions, they require a lot of exercise and a lot of training. So you don't want to just get a German Shepherd and not be prepared to take care of their care needs. All right. What dog may be the model for the traditional stone guardians found in front of Buddhist temples? Is it the Keeshond? Is it the Rottweiler? Is it the Chow Chow? Or is it the Boxer? What dog may be the model for the traditional stone guardians found in front of Buddhist temples? Thank you, Tickles. The Chow Chow? Ooh, you and Chris are correct. And Savage. Okay, the Chow Chow is originally from northern China, and it is considered to be the puffy lion dog, as I said earlier. It is believed that the Chow Chow is one of the native dogs used as the model for the Fu dog, the traditional stone dog guardians found in front of Buddhist temples and palaces. It is one of the few ancient dog breeds still in existence in the world today. Yes. Now, this is our last question of the night before Cats Roar, my special guest, my special pet owner guest, comes into the box, you guys. Hello, Air. Hello, welcome in, Fred. So don't worry if you're coming in late, you're just on time. And let's see what you think. What was the name of George Washington's dog? What was the name of George Washington's dog? Was it King Tut? Was it La Beau? Was it Sweet Lips? Or was it Faithful? Was it King Tut, La Beau, Sweet Lips, or Faithful? What do you think? It is not Kitty Commander. Okay. All right. Let's see. I saw Tut. No, it's not Tut. Sweet sleep? No. Sweet lips it is. Snowy with the wind. Washington's diaries are filled with accounts of his dog breeding, and eventually he created a unique breed of foxhound that he called Virginia Hounds. Virginia Hounds. Some of his favorite dogs included Sweet Lips, Madame Moose, Drunkard, Taster, Chloe, Tipsy, Forrester, Germer, Lady Rover, Vulcan, and Searcher. Some of his that's what he named his one of his Virginia hounds, which was, part of his dog breeding stuff. So that is it. If Cats Roar will request the box. If you're just coming into Meow and Me, welcome in. This is a weekly featured show here on the platform that's all about pets. Meow means make each one wanted, whether you're a cat or a zebra. We are interested in having you here on the show. In order to get on my show, all you need to do is message me on Instagram. It is linked to my bio here. So if you have an Instagram, and if not, you can reach out directly to my admin, Emoji J, or myself and let us know, okay? And Cats, welcome in. Cats, I can't wait. We're going to know more about, thank you, Meow Meow. We're going to know more tonight. Hi, Marcy, about Cats and her doggy. Hi, Cats, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I got you. Okay.
Hey guys.
So, Cats, who is this that you're holding in your hands?
This is Harley. Harley, she's a very bad girl, but Harley, she is a 2-year-old. She's a Jack Russell Dachshund mix. Well,
Jack Russell Dotson mix. Now, what are Jack Russell Dotsons known for? Do you know off the top of your head?
well, no, actually, this is my first experience with this type of breed. I had a Bichon before her who was very chill, to say the least. Harley is very energetic and athletic. So she can, runs very fast, that type of thing. So she more so has the personality and body type of a Jack Russell, but she's just a little bit longer like a dachshund.
She's really cute. I just love her eye being like it, just like the dark colors around her eyes and stuff. And is she, how big generally is she? Like a foot, like a foot and a half? She
No,
doesn't look very big, Cats.
no, she's not. And it's hard because she's sitting down on me, but
Yeah, no, and she lays on you like a little comfort animal. Like,
yes, it took a very long time because she's so high energy and certainly wasn't something that I was used to.
sure.
Um, it took her a long time to kind of chill with me. It's been a process over the past 2 years to kind of teach her and assure her that she can rest or sleep outside of like her little pen that she sleeps in at night.
That
Um,
makes a lot of sense to me because she's probably like, hey, I want to be close to you all, like this. Now, quick question. Well, where did you get her and why did you name her Harley?
sure. So, long story short, well, my my ex-boyfriend at the time, his brother had 2 dogs that I'll say accidentally mated. So she was an oopsie baby. I saw a picture of the puppies one day. My boyfriend at the time had shown me, and she was the only white one. And I said, "Oh, she's so cute. I want her." And she was actually claimed. So I never thought about her, not her, after that point. Long story short, I had a little medical emergency that was quite serious, and I was in the hospital for a period of time. And oddly, the day I came home from the hospital, which it wasn't perfect timing, but my boyfriend at the time came home with her the day I came home from the hospital. I guess he thought it would be something that, I don't know, would help the situation. It wasn't perfect timing, but in retrospect, I wouldn't change it for the world.
I mean, I definitely can understand it. I mean, what an incredible story about it though. It's kind of like this was what was meant to happen for then. It's, why did you name her Harley though? Or, like after
After the
a
motorcycle.
motorcycle or
No, so after the motorcycle. So again, motorcycles were a thing. And so we just kind of felt like it was a fitting name.
do you like motorcycles, cats? Are you into like motorcycling?
I've had my share of interest, yes.
Bet. Like, let me find out. Cats has got like a big Harley she drives around on, you know?
No.
Like I would be like, get in there, Cats. All right. So and how old is Harley?
She is two.
She's 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so have you had her pretty much since she was baby?
Yes, I had her ever since she was about 10 weeks old.
Okay, so she's been with you a good amount of time now. Um, what's your favorite memory together so far, Cats?
That's a good question. I guess I would say, and I think a lot of us would say this about animals, is that sometimes in your darkest hour, I know that sounds crazy, but sometimes in your darkest hour, your pets are really the ones that you can talk to. They don't judge you, and all of those things. So, and even like through medical stuff where I wasn't always doing my greatest, she gave me a reason to get out of bed and be productive because I had someone else relying on me at that point that, she was an important part of that. So for sure.
Wow, that's powerful right there. That's incredibly powerful. And I agree with you completely about it. When, regardless of we're up or down, but it's the down sometimes that little extra help really comes into handy to kind of keep us going and moving and doing the things that we are valuable to us to do. And wow, thank you for sharing that. Um, does Harley do anything naughty or weird or funny? Like, does she eat your socks or something? Sometimes I know dogs have different kinds of silly personalities where they'll snatch things, toothbrushes, whatever, is
Yeah, she is very mischievous. It's funny, I never had a dog that was kind of like nippy or bitey. I've always been fortunate to kind of have dogs that weren't like that. So in the beginning, she doesn't do it as badly now. She would bite me a lot. She wouldn't bite anyone else, though. It was a little questionable, but she would bite me. A funny story, I mean, I can remember one time I was sitting in the recliner. I got up, I had like pajamas on, like a nightgown, and she literally ran up to me and ripped the bottom of my nightgown off. Like she was like, and just ripped it off the bottom of my nightgown. So yeah, she's special. Like I said, she is a little bit of a biter. But fortunately, she only bites me. She doesn't bite too many people that come to visit, so that's a good thing. I'm embarrassed to say this, but yes, this is my life.
I think it's great. I mean, wow, like she's like not having you go anywhere. Yeah. You guys, this is Harley. This is her 2-year-old Cocker Spaniel slash, what was the other part?
A Jack Russell Dachshund.
Yeah, Jack Russell Dotson. So mixed breed pet and adorable as well. And let me take just a second to welcome in everybody. If you're just coming into Meow and Me, Meow means make each one wanted. This is a weekly pet show here on the platform, Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Cat's Roar is my special pet guest tonight. Not her specifically, but her dog Harley is tonight. She also is our special weekly pets correspondent as well, who brings us pets in the news each week. So I thought it would be lovely for you all to get to know Cats a little bit more. And even though Cats has actually, A dog. We do love all pets here, whether you're a dog, a llama, I don't care what you got. So I want to invite everybody to come on to the platform. Make sure you click on Kat's name here too, and also hit her with a favorite. What is your favorite thing to do together, Cats?
I think just kind of chill like this. I know it sounds funny. Like I said, it took her a long time to acclimate to kind of relaxing outside of a controlled environment. So, sometimes it's just her and I alone, and I'm petting her and she finally relaxes. It's satisfying for me to see her finally relax, and I think satisfying for her.
Mm.
But yeah, we just like to hang out. Like I said, she is a handful, but I think her keeping me on my toes has only been a good thing. Um,
I can imagine, yeah, like she looks really chill right now too. Like, how do you get her to be so, like, she seems so chill.
I'm continually petting her. As long as
Mm.
my hand is on her, and like you can tell, like with her feet, she's like, oh, like this is nice. But I think some of that was kind of through training in a sense where it's like, oh, like this feels good. So if you behave, you don't bite me, you're chilling, like this is the life, man. And sometimes it just takes, I think some pets, are just kind of born a little, crosswired. And it was just a learning curve for her. But if I took my hand off of her, she probably would go a little crazy. Like, where you going, bud? Let me
Well,
see
I
if
love
I.
the idea that you said training. Like, you bring up a good thing. Like, what are your thoughts? How did you train her? Like, did you have some tips that you did with your training of her that you like? Did you like? Is it like what did they call? I don't know about dog training. So you have to explain when you say training, like what you mean so much.
Well, I think one thing about Jack Russells specifically, and I would say, about Harley, is that they're very smart animals. But smart and bad can be a dangerous combo. I was very fortunate that like house training or housebreaking, should I say, happened very quickly. She learned to potty outside very quickly, and sometimes I think that's the most difficult thing. So I think that was just luck more than skill. And do I think there's things that I could have trained her much better on early on? Absolutely. But I think it's just, like most animals, positive reinforcement. Um, it's kind of funny. This is a funny story. I asked my vet like a year ago, why does my dog keep biting me? I mean, not to be funny, but I'm like, am I doing something wrong? Because I'm not gonna hurt an animal to discipline it. That's not gonna happen. But certainly giving her a little smack on her butt or being firm. And I just said to him, I don't understand why this is happening. He said, you're not treating her like a dog. And so my witty response, which he didn't find too funny, I said, oh, so you mean when I dress her up and I hold her on my hip, like that's not treating her like a dog? He was like, and I said, I'm just kidding. Like, what do you mean? And he was like, well, you can't let her sit on your lap. And I said, well, that's the world that I live in. My dog sits on my lap. I don't.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, they have to understand that you're the authority figure, or those types of things. And I'm like, well, considering that I'm the hand that feeds her, I think she understands the role, but I just thought it was funny where he said, well, you don't treat her like a dog.
Hmm.
And so that was kind of like, in terms of training, that was kind of hard. But in terms of me not letting her on my lap, that wasn't going to happen because I felt like that was the only time that she was truly happy. You know what I mean? Is to be right next to me on my lap. So that was kind of interesting. When he said, you don't treat her like a dog. And I said, oh, you mean when I dress her up? Like, and he's like, and I don't dress her up. Let me just say that. But
Well,
um,
even if you did, I'd be okay with that.
I
I'd
mean,
be like, can I see some pictures? I mean, like,
I would do
I'd
it
be
once
okay
in a
with it.
while. But she's also like a Houdini. When I put a sweater on her or a jacket and she goes outside into the yard, when she comes back in, she's not wearing it. every time. So I've given up on the sweater routine. Harley, come here. Hey.
That makes a lot of sense. If you're just coming in, welcome in. Thank you for all the gifts, Snowy, Bruce, and everybody. This is featured so I won't be interrupting my special guest to say thank you if you do gift. But know that I see it and I appreciate it, and thank you so much for it as well, you guys. I just want you to know. Please feel free to click on Kat's Roar's name and hit her with a favorite as well. This is Harley, her 2-year-old mixed breed papa doggy as well. So, and if you have any questions in the comments, feel free to ask, Um, it looks like Dada is talking about a collar. Like, what is the collar situation?
She has a unhealthy obsession with her collar.
Oh,
And to the point where if you take off her collar and you hold it like near her head, she will start chattering her teeth. Um, she almost feels like, I think her collar is part of her, or it's almost like a security blanket, if you will. And I noticed it at home. And a couple years ago, like a year ago, I had boarded her because I went on vacation and I had to board her. And on the last day of boarding, apparently they decided to take her collar off for an unknown reason because they couldn't explain to me why they took her collar off. And they said that she became kind of like growly and mad. And they couldn't figure out why. And my first question was, well, why did you take off her collar? And they didn't really have a response. And I said, well, for future reference, yeah, I mean, she is weird about her collar. She's just extremely weird. I've never seen that a dog do that. But she will become kind of anxious and chatter her teeth. And if it's a stranger taking off her collar, she's just not having it.
oh, really interesting. So she genuinely sees it as part of herself, you know?
Yes. And,
Huh.
like I only really take it off to bathe her. And I have to like take it off and like hide it away so she can't see it anywhere or she'll get highly anxious about it. And then I feel like she's not back to herself until I put it back on.
That makes a lot of sense, though. I mean, I think, oh, the baby. Are you so pretty? Yes, you're so pretty. I want to nuzzle you. Meow, 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 meow. She's adorable, right? You guys, she's just beautiful. I mean, I, I like. What do you do now? You said when you bathe her cats. So I'm a sounding. It sounded to me like maybe you would lure her into the bathtub. Tell me about what you do with bathing and grooming her. Like, how does that look like? Do you have to look? I'd heard one person put peanut butter on the shower wall one time to get their dog in there. Like, what do you have to do?
Amazingly, so when she was smaller, I would bathe her in the kitchen sink,
Okay.
and that was highly stressful for her that she would try to jump out over and over again. But interestingly enough, I just gave her a bath like 2 days ago, and she has grown. I wouldn't say she loves it or anything, but she tolerates it. She'll stand there, and I just have to continually. I just keep talking to her and giving her positive reinforcement, and I feel like that just kind of lets her know that it's okay. Now, once she gets out of the tub, she is like insane. She'll jump all over my couch, soaking wet, and wants to give me the what for. But during the bath itself, she's pretty good about it. I'm thankful. Now I can't cut her nails because she's too insane. So I have to take her to the vet to get her nails cut. But other than that, she's pretty good.
Yeah, nails are tough. I mean, I don't even cut my cat's nails. I let the pet smart or the vet do it. I'm not here for that. It's too much. They claw me. They claw me if like they
Yeah,
claw me anyways. Yeah, right.
I can only no, I can only imagine. And this with her, I'm just so afraid that she will pull her, one of her. I said her arm, her front feet or her arms, her back feet or her legs, but afraid that she's gonna, pull them away and I'm gonna hurt her, and that's scares the crap out of me to cut their nails. So
I guarantee. Yeah, I mean, and to Like, and it sounds to me like did you have any tricks that you did, or just consistently you just kind of said, all right, it's bath time now. It's time for you to step into the bath.
I just scoop her up off the ground and don't give her like we going in. You know what I mean? So it's
I'm the big dog, you the little dog. This is how we gonna do it.
yeah, and you know, and like I said, most times because she is kind of, like a bitey kind of, not bitey kind of dog, but um that's when I do have to show the dominance so that she'll listen to me and that
Oh,
we can just get it done, because then we're in there and I try to do it as quickly as possible. But like I said, fortunately, she has grown to tolerate it, which I know a lot of people, whether they have big dogs or small dogs, bathing can be kind of hard.
yeah, and it's hard. It is hard, even with cats. Some people do bathe their cats, believe it or not.
I can't
And
imagine. I'm just thinking of the nails, because she'll hang on to me like a cat will. You know what I mean? Like that kind of hanging on with claws, and yeah, that's scary. Even bathing myself is tricky.
sometimes it's true. It can be hard. It depends on the moment and time in life. Yeah, when Bika was little, I used to hold Binka in the shower with me. So, and let Binka get used to the water. This is probably why Binka hops into the shower in the morning and usually is somewhere behind my feet. So that part. That's why you want others to do it. Interesting. Okay. Well, like, uh, I want to say, like, what is like, we've talked about some of the awesome benefits of having Harley in your life, but it would be kind of unfair to only be like, yes, dogs are amazing, dogs are great, and this is everything, and blah, blah, blah. What are some of the hardest parts about being a pet owner you found? It doesn't have to be about with Harley necessarily, but just give us like kind of an accurate idea of, what are some of the hardest parts about being a pet owner?
Sure. I mean, I think, like with any pet, it is a big commitment. So, a lot of things have to be planned around her. If I'm going on vacation, if I have to work late, those are all considerations. It's not cheap to have pets. You know what I mean? I always say it's kind of real expensive in the beginning and it's really expensive at the end. And in the middle, you just kind of like hope that it doesn't go up and down, go up. Um, and of course that for the most part, you're going to outlive your pets. So losing pets, like, and not to be negative, but I think the hardest part about owning a pet is that, they can't live forever and they're probably not going to live longer than you. So my dog before Harley was very different, and I always say like he was my soul dog. I had him for 15 years, and I waited a little less than 2 years before I got another dog, and I always knew I wanted another dog, but I was always afraid that my our relationship is very different, and I think a lot of
Right.
pet owners can say that it's just a lot different, than my last dog. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't trade it. But I think the biggest thing that I would always tell everybody is that it's a big commitment. Having pets is not easy. It's not just like you get it and you have to feed it, like, or hang out with it. There's, you have to take your dog to the vet. You have to, you know, they need to have access to food and water and go outside and, have quality time with you. So I think that would probably be my biggest thing. My biggest thing.
Yeah, and I think that's a good reality snapshot, like, especially like you were talking last week, not to kind of bring last week's kind of topic about when you did pets in the news last week. You brought up a really valid thing saying, make sure that if one of your ideas is to get a pet for someone, to make sure that they're capable of having
Right.
the
Right.
pet, right? And, for all of the reasons you just named, respectfully, right? All of those reasons are extremely, like, relevant to pet ownership, understanding the cost and the time and all of those things. Um, what recommendations do you have if somebody was like looking for a dog, whether it's at a humane society, um, you know, what are your thoughts about, how to get a dog?
I mean, my theory is always going to be adopt, don't shop. But I guess I'm also the kind of person that is a choice that I would make. I would never buy a dog. Um, if I hadn't gotten her the way that I did, I certainly would have gotten a dog from a shelter. Um, but I'm also not going to, criticize somebody for purchasing a dog. Let me say that. But I think definitely check your local shelters. A lot of times people think with like rescues or shelters that they only have pit bulls, they only have these huge dogs that nobody wants. But you know what? They have rescues for almost every breed of dog. My last dog was like a little foofy dog, was a Bichon Frise, a little white puffball. And I remember I said jokingly, I can't imagine that they would have a Bichon rescue. Like who's well, they have them all over the country. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it might take more work to find that perfect dog or that perfect cat or perfect guinea pig, you name it. They have lots of species at rescues. But it's a good idea to maybe check those out first. So that would
Yeah.
be my best advice. And do your homework on the breed, because you know what? Some breeds of dogs require some more specialized training on the owner's part. It's not just, if you have getting a larger breed dog, because a lot of dogs that are mean or do terrible things, or any animal for that matter, and a lot of times you can't really blame the animal. It's unfortunately the owners, whether they are don't have proper training themselves or they mistreat the animals. So just do your homework for sure.
No, I agree. Wow, I mean, and that's actually really important, right? Like you pointed out some really good tips and strategies, no matter what. Like I consider Harley to be a rescue because if you guys hadn't, kind of rescued her, who knows where she would have been or not been. You
For
never
sure.
know.
For sure.
You really don't know. It's not that you went out and bought hers, you know what I mean? So, like that. So I don't know. I kind of consider that a bit different than a puppy mill or something like that. Um, does Harley ever have any play dates with other dogs?
Well, she does have a sister that lives here. She has a pit bull sister, actually, who is a little
Wow.
less than a year old. Um, I would say that in terms of having other pets here at the house, it's been a little bit of a challenge for her, just learning how to share. And, um, the joke is that if you break into my house, it's not the pit bull you have to worry about. You know what I mean? So she's the bite, and perhaps her sister is the bark. Um, but what's funny is that the times that she has been boarded, they have like cameras where you can watch them in the playrooms and stuff. And she was always like the one that nobody wanted to play with. She
Oh,
like hides under like the like a thing that they can run up and down. And I'm like, my child is the outcast, but she was no worse for the wear. I think she was just overwhelmed. But she's definitely interested in other dogs, but I think she's just a little selective, that's all.
yeah, well, maybe
It's
that.
not a bad thing, maybe.
I mean, this will keep her from getting cooties and other things. If you
Exactly.
guys are just coming in, welcome in. This is Meow and Me. This is Cat's Rawr, and her dog Harley is a 2-year-old mixed breed. And Cats was just talking to us about her experience with her own pet and stuff tonight because we have Cats as our special pets in the news correspondent every week. And some of you know that Cats has a dog, not a cat. And now it's completely public. Such scandal.
I
Such
know. Don't tell
but
anyone.
but she loves all pets just like I do. Just like I don't have a dog, but I love dogs, even though all of you think I must hate them, but I don't. So I just love cats too. So um let me ask this last question. Are we doing pets in the news tonight?
I mean, it's completely up to you. I'm prepared to do it, or we can save
Okay.
it for next
Well,
week. It's
then
up to
let
you.
me just finish up with this last question and then we'll transition into that. So, what is the strangest thing about Harley?
Um,
Is it the collar? Is
yeah,
it the biting? Like I'm not.
she's just an odd bird. I mean, I tell her all the time. I'm like, but she's like my little weirdo. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I'm like, did I make you this way, or were you born this way, or was it a little bit of both?
yeah. You're.
Um, I heard she does a little hump hump.
Oh, she likes to like get down and wild, special with her special pet friend.
No, she'll hump her bed sometimes. I'm just like, what the hell? I wasn't gonna share that, but yeah,
No,
on occasion, like
that's gross.
she sleeps in my kitchen at night. And I have just like a like a self-standing gate, in front of the kitchen, just because I don't want her to get anything into anything overnight, just to kind of keep her safe. But sometimes what she'll do is that she'll run into the kitchen. She'll literally carry her bed out to the living room and just hump it in front of all of us. And I'm just like, let's not bring that party trick out. You know what I mean? Yeah, she should be ashamed.
Ah, that is so funny. That is that's funny. That's very funny. Harley, she's a voyeur. Is that what they're called? I don't know. Anyways, not appropriate, kitty. Okay. I wish I could carry my bed around with my teeth. I'm sure you do, Bruce. Trying to act right. Is that a crossbreed of dog bed and dog? What would that be?
Uh,
Like
uh,
Harbed?
a
I don't
dog.
know.
I don't. I said a dog. I don't know.
Like, anyways, all right. Well, you guys, this was all about this first part here was all about cats and her relationship or close relationship with one of the loves of her
Nope.
life, which
Let's
is
not do that on
which
camera.
is Harley. Yep. And Harley's just doing more of this type of love. This is just what dogs and cats do. So, y'all can live with it. And now it's going to be Pets in the News with Cat's Roar. She's got some information for us all about what the good is on all of the pets in the news. So let's hear what it is, pet. Let's hear what it is, cats.
Okay, so just have a couple of quick news stories, but one is about emotions that dogs feel.
Oh,
So I think we all think that we're in tune, like with how our pets feel, like their behavior is like, oh, they're sad, they're happy, they're mad, or whatever that might be. And some examples that this researcher did was, talking about, said a cat slinks by disdainfully, ignoring anyone and everyone, or a cow moos in contentment while it's eating its hay, or something like that. So we kind of analyze animals in the same way that we analyze people, and how we look at their body language or their behavior or things like that. But what's kind of interesting is they did a study on horses, and uh, if you've ever seen like horses, more so maybe that are in captivity, should I say, that kind of might play with each other or roughhouse. That does not generally happen in the wild. And what they said was that play or that roughhousing was almost a reaction to a stress. That being in captivity causes a stress, and then that behavior is a way for them to make themselves happy, or to feel better. And so that's why they do that. Now, they talked about some other animals, like for example, they said that researchers, they would pick up a mouse or a hamster or something by its tail, I guess a mouse, and that would almost ruin its entire day.
Oh.
that they were able to tell through, I guess, observation that something as simple as holding a mouse by its tail and causing that discomfort, because it does cause discomfort, would put a damper on its day. They also researched ferrets. You know, there's a lot of people who have pet ferrets, that they said that pet ferrets are animals that get very bored very easily. So, you know, knowing that emotion, that they're bored, and I guess boredom is considered an emotion, that's something as a pet owner that you should take into consideration, you know, based on the study. They also said, I don't think anybody has an octopus, but maybe you do. But to keep in mind that octopuses or octopi, I'm not sure, and fish can feel pain. So that's another example. You know, either whether you eat fish or you're a fisherman or a fisherwoman or a fisher person, or if you have those kind of pets, that, you know, to take that into consideration, because I think it's a big myth that people think that fish don't feel anything, but they do. And so, you know, the overall study was just really making a comparison about what we assume about animals and how they feel about things and their emotions, and it's generally based on how we do that with other humans. So it's important, and their research is suggesting that it's important to take that into consideration, either if you have these animals as pets or you raise them or whatever it might be. So that was kind of interesting.
Like that is facts. I mean, I think that sometimes we have this very much, like, we don't want to admit to all of ourselves, because we are carnivorous, right? We do eat meat.
Right.
And we don't want to admit to ourselves sometimes that us eating meat may end up being the case, you know. So
Sure.
that's fair, you know. Yes, I understand, Bruce. You don't have to feel guilt. We're just having an acknowledgement, okay? So, yeah. Bruce is like, but I love steak, kitty.
First, it's okay.
No, I understand. Calm down. It's okay. So
just consider the cow's emotions and then we'll be okay. No,
right. You know, I actually did have a pet cow when I was in 5th grade, but that's a different story, a different shade. So its name was Cow. So not Moo, but Cow.
Well, that's cool. So the next story is about animal testing, but a positive thing about animal testing. And it's funny because when I was younger, I became very aware of animal testing at a very young age. I was in like 6th grade, and I remember I watched a video from PETA, and I don't know how I watched it or why I was allowed to watch it. And the video talked a lot about GM, General Motors at the time, was using live pigs and putting them in vehicles and crashing them to see, you know, instead of like test dummies, they were using livestock essentially. And then also in that video, there was a blurb about L'Oreal specifically and how they were testing mascara on bunnies, and it had all these terrible pictures. So I would say that was really my personal time of becoming such an animal lover and making sure that I didn't want any animal to be hurt and that kind of thing. So now, of course, with artificial intelligence becoming more and more, I don't want to say popular, that's not really what I mean, but more and more advanced, should I say, in so many different aspects of our lives, now they are finding that they could actually use artificial intelligence to eliminate some of the animal testing that they do. Because not part of the problem is, but there's been so much animal testing for so many different reasons, and we won't judge the reasons. You know, it could be from makeup to cancer, you know, these important things.
Yeah.
But there's so much research that it's often hard for researchers to easily obtain or go through all of the existing research. So oftentimes they are committing that testing again to get the results. So not only have they done this to X amount of animals at such time, so now what they're able to do and what they're working on is being able to use something, like chat, what is it, PTMT, whatever it is, being able to use
PTMT. No, I'm just kidding.
OPT, I don't know, whatever it's called.
You guys know about the chat PTMT?
But the artificial intelligence will be able to go through all of the prior research. We're talking thousands and thousands, if not millions, of research without having to further test on animals because prior that research was difficult to be able to muddle through. So I think that that's a big deal because I know, think about it. Some of the animals that they test on, like beagles, I mean, this is all a real thing. I think we try not to think about it because it's not in our faces oftentimes. But I know that we wouldn't want our furry friends, being tested on. And if this is a way to help at least reduce it, it's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, and I love that. If you're just coming into Meow and Me, we're just talking about pets in the news. Sit back and learn something.
And last but not least, I wanted to end on a cat note because I know that there are lots of cat lovers here tonight, and I know we've been talking lots about dogs.
Yeah.
But just as a reminder, I think we all like to give our pets and especially cats some kind of treat during the holiday. Especially when we're cooking. But keep in mind things like onion and garlic. Those are a no-go for your cat. A lot of people still make like turkey on Christmas or that kind of thing. And I know I'm guilty of giving some gravy sometimes to my dog. That kind of gravy is too much for our pets, believe it or not. The amount of fat or other things that go into like that type of rich gravy. I'm not talking like a jar of gravy, but if you're making, homemade gravy, that can still be quite too much, for our pets. So just keep in mind that there's nothing worse than your pet getting sick on the holidays, whether it's because you got to clean the stuff up or take your dog or a cat to an emergency vet. So just keep in mind that while you might mean well, there's a lot of ingredients that can be quite harmful to your cat. So.
Yeah, and Chuck Norris is guilty of this. I would tell you a quick story along the lines of what Katz just shared. Chuck Norris was recently spotted on top of my table in my kitchen, in my dining room, eating a muffin. Yes, a muffin that was sitting on a plate. He had decided that it was for him and he ate the whole muffin. Now, Kitty, how do I know he ate the muffin? Because he puked it up later. And I said, aha, it wasn't Twinkie, my 18-year-old daughter. It was you who ate the muffin. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, and that is why too you may want to consider during the holidays, along with not keeping onion and garlic available, etc. You may also too want to cover leftovers that may be sitting out on countertops and just whatever. Thank you, Faster. Thank you, everyone. With some kind of like, even if it's a plastic wrap or a foil, because even Chuck Norris is susceptible to come in and take snacks when he's not supposed to, you guys. So.
And it can happen so quickly. I mean, that's the other thing. It just takes a second, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
And he was miserable. He puked up that muffin, and that serves him right. He should have not ate the muffin. But anyways, this is what it is, something that can happen very quickly. And, without your even knowledge, you're not. So I think that's a very valuable thing. Well, thank you, Katz, for being my special guest and giving us all the tea on what's out there right now. Tell us when you stream and when people can find you real quick.
Sure. So luckily I'm off of work for the next 2 weeks. So I will be streaming hopefully at least maybe every other day, but generally I'm on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday in the evening. So yeah, that's where you can find me.
So click on her thing, hit her with a favorite, and I'm gonna wrap this show up, y'all. So thank you, Katz.
Thank you. I appreciate everybody. Thank you so much. And Harley says bye. Say bye.
I was speaking dog. Oh my goodness, did you hear me? Can I get some roofs in the comments? I don't know. Anyways, thank you all. So that ends this week's Meow and Me in general. Meow means make each one wanted. It doesn't matter if you have a cat or a zebra. If it is your pet and you care about it and you love it. Thank you, Almost Good Life. And you want to share it with all of us. I also want you to share it with all of us, especially if you are very much in love with your pet, because we love people who love their pets. So, and I am somebody who loves my two cats, Chuck Norris and Binka. So, if you are somebody who wants to be on the show, hit me up, hit Emoji J up. Let me know through Instagram is the best way to get a hold of me. Thank you to all of the gifters tonight as well. Kay, Real Vibes, Fox Boy, Almost Good Life, Fairy, Bruce Wayne, Cats Rar, Eddie, Kay. You guys, please make sure you hit out everybody in my list with a favorite. Go check them out. And definitely hit Cats with a fave, my special books correspondent. And you guys, I have some really good tea for you next week, I believe, or maybe the following week. We will be having a brand new intro video and design complete. I'm going to spill some of the tea. I'm not going to tell you all of it. Complete with my own theme song. And not the kitty meow meow theme song, but an actual, like, almost, it sounds, I'm going to tell you, it sounds like a sitcom TV song. But it's awesome. It's a little too long right now. So myself and Emoji J are working on it together. Emoji J is doing the heavy lifting in this project. You guys, he's been working hard to create. Thank you, Almost Good. Thank you. He's been working very hard to like put this all together and have the vision of Meow and Me.